3, 2, 1. Oh, you're out of sync. You guys suck. Woo! Welcome to episode 36 of the Point Podcast. No, wrong one. There we go. I love a bit of air horn. Gets me energized. Makes me feel like I'm in the club. Isn't that right, Brock? You're like that, aren't you?
Yes, because I go to so many clubs.
You're a big club goer.
When was the last time you actually went to a club?
Like 8, 9 years ago, probably.
I saw him the other week at King Street, and he was in the corner going off his head. They were playing Brat, bit of Charlie XCX. You're like
he doesn't know that. He does not know these words.
Bump it out.
You could probably play the song, and it's an like even chance on whether I'll even recognize it.
It's an album.
Okay, well there you go.
You're more of a 360 or 365 kind of bitch.
I don't even know what that means.
Nah, you're Von Dutch. He's Von Dutch. Do.
I do like 360 though.
Yeah, no, it's a good album.
Yeah,
I really like it. We are now a music podcast. You would know Charlie XCX.
If you played the song, I'd
I can tell
I know
it.
that song, but I barely know.
Bro, you love it.
The KFC ad from like 2013, 14.
I don't care.
Oh,
I
the one
love
you were
it.
humming before.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You've definitely recognized it.
I think she's
Yes,
only
I
a
know
feature
that
on
song, but I didn't know what it was called, and I didn't know who wrote it, and no.
I remember that was in one of the like Need for Speed games, like 2011, I think it was. It was hectic. So all you drive around just bumping that or drifting.
Bump it out. All right. Let's get back to gaming and that. So we had no idea what we were doing, so we talked to our computer god.
Yeah.
And he told us some things to talk about. What are you doing?
I was just rearranging.
He's already fiddling.
The
Standard.
autism.
One big thing I want to talk about, this is news. We don't talk about news, but we're going to talk about it. Is, what?
You're going on that way too much.
GTA.
GTA. Yeah, that wasn't what I was going to talk about, but GTA 6 trailer, baby. Woo!
A new release date. Which is,
what is it?
Got a few people. 26th of May next year, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So nearly a full year away.
Honestly, I'm happy they delayed GTA 6. It's just, when has Rockstar delayed a game and it's been bad? When has Rockstar made a bad game in the last like 20 years? I'm sorry. I know it's been a big wait since GTA 5, but you can deal with it. You really can.
Yeah.
And you know what? It definitely isn't as long. I feel like the wait between GTA 4 and GTA 5 felt way longer than this one. I don't know why. It definitely wasn't. Because it was only 5, 6 years, something like that. And this is like 12 years. But I don't know why that wait between those two games felt way longer to me.
Because you're in school and we weren't doing anything.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Had other stuff to play in the meantime.
Exactly.
There's nothing to play now.
Yeah, it's definitely going downhill in things to play. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
There's very limited games where it's like it's holding my attention for a decent amount of time or any proper depth.
I kind of agree with you. I think there's plenty of games coming out. It's just they're all very samey.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And you know what? I just want even some stuff to go back to its roots in not a bad way. I really like just a good FPS.
Yeah.
I would really like something. There was like this game I was playing, I think on my iPad, and it's on PC. Like a shitty free-to-play FPS called like Delta Force or something.
That sounds very familiar. I'm sure
It came out at the start of this year, late last year. It's coming out on mobile devices recently. I only played a couple rounds. It was like, this was fun. It was giving me flashbacks to like Battlefield back in the day, but a little bit of COD in it as well. And
pretty much only the indie sphere that you still see stuff where they try new things that can be really engaging. AAA space is all just like, nah, we're releasing the same thing as last year, just with a new coat of brown.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I just feel like there's less and less games actually coming out AAA wise.
AAA wise, yeah, definitely. I mean, I just did the playtest for Arc Raiders and then Dune Awakening. Both, they're very similar games. One's obviously more extraction shooter based, and then Dune's like base building and MMO, but they're sort of in the same space of what type of games they are. They're all multiplayer. There's not a good single player game coming out for a while, unless you want to count Doom.
Yeah. Well, he's hoping it's good.
Yeah. So I saw a thing on X, Twitter, and I don't know if it's true, but I saw a thing saying that they got rid of glory kills in Doom. I could be completely wrong. But if they did, I feel like they're really ripping the soul out of that game.
Yeah.
Doom 2016 was so good. So good, that game. People, like, amazing soundtrack, really great gameplay, just came out of nowhere type of thing. And then Doom Eternal was also really good, but they definitely pulled back on certain things. I was like, this isn't as fun in certain ways, but also they definitely did broaden it and make it a lot different. It wasn't just same. It really sucked what they did with the soundtrack on that game. And this game, like, it looks like it could be really cool.
Yeah.
But then I'm also hearing some pretty how you going things about it at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of those things though, like until something's confirmed, I don't want to.
Well, the game comes out in a couple days, and these are people who have played the game. This isn't.
Okay.
Isn't it just speculation?
It's not speculation when the game. You can literally go to a shop and buy it right now.
I could, but I'm not going to.
I never said you were. I'm just saying you could.
Yeah. Okay. Back to.
Bumper that. Bumper that.
Alright. Yeah, until like it's actually in someone's hands that I can talk to directly and go, what did you think of this? If it's someone online that I don't know that they got an early release copy or an early review copy, stuff can change even in just a few days.
What? Well, they're going to put a new feature in the game in 2 days?
No, not a huge thing like, oh, we completely removed the glory kills because the test audience didn't like it. That would be like a couple of months of work. But actually changing like, oh, we were thinking of removing the glory kills. We have them all animated. We tried an early release of the game without them and it didn't test well. We've put them back in.
This is people who got the game like a week ago. They're not going to change something that drastic in that short of a time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, it was the Act Man on X or Twitter. He's got a big YouTube channel. He did a lot of like Halo content and other stuff like that. And he was saying that there was a big thread about it. People arguing on X, which is what's new. What are you looking up, Gilbert?
The glory kills thing.
Yeah.
Just so we get our facts right.
Yep.
We don't have a repeat of last time. Thank you, Brock. Apparently that they're still going to be in the game, glory kills, but they're just going to be like generic kicks and gun smashes and like bashes rather than every different enemy type has its own.
That kind of sucks. I felt like that was really cool. About
So all the unique stuff's gone. It's just going to be a generic, here, do this, and then that's your glory kill rather than being individual.
Which sucks. I mean, they actually stole glory kills from Brutal Doom. Do you remember that mod?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really good mod for the original Doom 1 and 2. Like, it modernizes those games so much. It makes them extremely gory and different types of weapons and things like that. I might even go download that today. That
Adds in a whole bunch of cut content as well.
Oh, heaps of stuff.
Has there been any new Dune is now playable on like X device things? The last one I saw, I think, was a PDF. You could play the original Doom. Oh, fucking hell.
Stop saying Doom. No one cares about these fucking sandworms.
It's good.
Doom.
I did get eaten by a sandworm. It completely destroyed my my progress.
But no, Doom just runs on everything.
Yeah.
John Carmack optimized that game immensely. It will run on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big ones I saw over the last couple of, over the last year was, I know people have had it running on calculators for ages.
The one I saw was on the pregnancy test.
Yeah, there was that
That's
one.
cool.
Someone had it running on an ECM from their car motor.
Like what? The heads-up display?
No. Like the central component in like the actual engine.
That's a bit
If
wild.
you plugged the test unit into it, you like booted this side program and just playing it on there. Just because they could. You couldn't play it while they're like using the car. You had to stop the car and open the bonnet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be cool to see what they do next.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll probably pick it up just because, I mean, actually, I never even finished Eternal. That was at a weird time. You'd think I would have finished it because it came out like right as the original lockdowns. But I played a fair bit of it and then I just got busy with other shit.
Lockdown was just Warzone, non-stop.
Yeah, was that your lockdown game, Warzone?
Yeah, I'm sure we played other things as well, but like we had like a 2-month Minecraft stint, which was good instead of having the normal 2 weeks.
I'm trying to think what I did. I played a lot of Demon Souls because I got that on PS5. No, that would have been the next year. Fuck, what did I get? Last of Us 2 came out around that time. I remember
it was like end of 2019 or start of 2020.
It was in 2020 that it came out. I'm trying to think what I played. Man, I think I played a bit of Red Dead. I had it on PC at that point, and I was playing a bit of that. But I can't even put a point. The big lockdown game for sure was Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
People were going crazy for that game.
I had one of the Animal Crossings on DS, and that was the only Animal Crossing I've played. I didn't play the new one. I've played none of them on the Switch.
I bought the new one and I played it for like an hour or two. I just couldn't get into it. People
it's a
loved
very
it.
slow start. I played it. I liked it fine, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the original on GameCube.
It's not my type of game, but I can fully see why that is.
Getting
people get super into it. Yeah,
I'm getting a lot of Stardew Valley content on my TikTok feed at the moment.
I'm seeing a bit because of
Bobby Lee did some interview with
the creator.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's a lot more to this game than I thought it was. Everything I've ever seen of it's just like, I'm gonna put some plants down and.
No, I played a bit of Stardew Valley. It was pretty good. Like, it's definitely a worthwhile game. It's one of those games. It's like, this should be way more than $20.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens that you never see if you don't actively go looking for it.
I feel like we're definitely in a drought of games where it's like an indie game that you're like, fuck, this should be worth way more because of the amount of content in it. I remember having that idea when I first got Minecraft. I'm like, what? This is $25 or $20 or whatever. It's like, this is insane what I can do in this. It was so fun. Stardew Valley was one of those as well. I didn't sink a ton of hours into it, but enough to definitely warrant like $60, $70.
Yeah, I stopped playing Stardew Valley just before they released the multiplayer patch. And I was like, oh, I could go back and play, but by that point I didn't know anyone who was also still playing it, so I was like...
I never got into Terraria.
No, neither did I. I
did.
tried it.
I wish I could, but I don't know. The 2D really fucks me around with that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like one of the only games I just don't... I think just because of how much you can do in that game, but it's only 2D, fucks me around. And it's not isometric like Stardew's 2D, obviously, but it's isometric and it feels way better for that. But just being a 2D flat surface, I don't know.
No, it takes some getting used to. I'll agree with you that. Terraria, it has way more content, to be fair, but there's a space theme, not version of it because it's done by a completely different developer, I believe. And now I can't remember what it's called, which is a problem. There was a space one that I played for quite a while, which I really like because, like, rather than having, hey, here's your world, and you just pop your character back and forth between save files, you had a spaceship which could be like your central sort of hub, and you could jump between worlds and build on every single one of them, but it treated it all as one coherent save.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the games where they get too big with their scope never land it. Like,
I liked it because it didn't have that problem that Terraria had for me, where you get to a point where it's like, okay, I've not completely mined this world out, but like this world is kind of just janked now because I've built here and I fucked up this thing here, and I can't really get that feeling of a new start, but I don't want to restart the character and reset all that progress.
What I want to play is, I've seen this for years as a Terraria Minecraft mod, and it fully converts Terraria into Minecraft and all the stuff that's cool about that game in Minecraft. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely more my speed.
You said it the wrong way around.
Terraria mod into Minecraft.
Yes. That's the correct way. You said it just before. You said it turns Terraria into Minecraft.
No, you said it the correct way. The way you said it.
Do we want another 2 against 1?
You can have as many as you want.
I don't care. I love it. Bro, you alright, bro?
You got to listen to that album.
You have to. Actually, no, that one, I don't know.
That's single, and then the Brat album.
Brat album. That's got rock written all over it.
You see the new Brat we're doing? Getting next, I think it's this year. All the different artists and stuff that was leaked at Coachella.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Odd names on there.
Very odd names. I remember seeing the list like for a second on on a TikTok or something. I feel like going back to the music talk, I feel like Charlie XCX is probably one of the only more modern artists that I'm like, yeah, I'm fully on board with, and it just doesn't feel like industry plant or any bullshit.
Just doing what she wants.
She's doing what she wants and has evolved her music, and people are loving it.
Yeah,
and it's great. There's not a ton of modern artists that I'm a big fan of anymore.
I remember seeing a clip of at some concert, and she played the I Don't Care. I don't remember what that's called, and no one was getting hyped. But then when she plays it in Australia, everyone goes ballistic. Yeah, it's like the KFC.
It's a KFC theme. Yeah.
Like, he's like, no one's up and jumping. What are you talking about? It's like, no one knows the music because it came out like 10 years ago.
I don't care. I love it. Do you listen to any new music at all, Brock? Actually, do you even listen to much music in general besides Crush 40?
I haven't listened to Crush 40 yet.
4 hours.
Crush 40 is the people
longer.
who did all the Sonic music.
Majority of the Sonic music.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
Well done you.
It's Crush 40 and Michael Jackson. There you go.
No.
What do you mean, no? He did Sonic music.
Never confirmed. It's
it came
highly
out.
Rumored.
It came out, didn't it? Like only the other, like one of the developers.
I haven't seen it, but although then again,
like only a couple
and I don't
years
honestly
ago.
care.
I want to know. Yeah, you keep going though.
Yeah. I want to know.
No, in terms of music, I have a couple of artists that I listen to, but it's usually I don't go find stuff just because an artist has done it. Usually I'll hear something and go, oh, that sounds good, and I'll just grab individual songs. I don't usually grab a whole thing just because, like, oh, I like that artist.
See, if I like one song from an artist, I'll generally go and listen to the whole album to see if I like the rest of the music. And if I don't, I just listen to that one song.
Although uncredited, Michael Jackson worked on the game's soundtrack. This is for Sonic 3, alongside keyboardist Brad Buxer.
Okay, that's quite cool.
Because I saw this only like it was a rumor for years. It was like the ET, like the Atari ET copies, all buried in a dump in New Mexico, which ended up being true as well.
Oh, everyone knew that one was true.
No, they didn't know that. They didn't know it for ages. And what happened was, no, Brock.
No, I'm waiting for you to go.
So it was a rumor for years and years, decades, and then Xbox did a documentary about it, and they went to this place and they ripped them all out of the ground, and there was a bunch of copies of ET for the Atari, like in a dump. And then I think they ended up selling some of them.
I was going to say, how much do you reckon they're worth?
I think they're worth.
They're not worth heaps because none of them actually work. There's only some of them like were recoverable, but majority of them they just buried back under there.
People are buying ESO RAM. They'll buy the Atari ET game.
I think people want to get the Atari ET game from the dump more than they want to buy the normal one. So I'd say they're worth more than the normal one because they made
they'll be
millions of
worth
copies.
more than the normal one, but it's not like there's not that many of them recovered.
Yeah, so they'd be worth even more then.
Yeah, ET Desert copy for sale.
Probably find it on fucking Wider Games or whatever.
Oh god,
don't.
Yeah, we still need to do a deep dive on that.
Yeah.
Well, here's one complete inbox with all manuals, $57.
God, yeah, we should get one for the set.
That would be cool.
It is. It like whenever I see that ET game for the Atari, it's like even as a kid back in like 1984 or 83 or whenever that game came out, I would not have been gypped by that. It looked like a fucking piece of shit. I know you're only going off the cover box art and everything like that.
Yeah, and
I would be returning that shit straight away.
I think it was also like parents who you'd gone with the kids to see the movie, and the kids, they really like that. I mean, oh look, the game for it's out. We'll get that. It wasn't the kids buying the games; it was the parents buying the games.
My dad goes, "What game do you want?" and then go pick one, and I'll pay for it. That's how I got my games. Or he'd be like, "You should get Gran Turismo. That looks like it's fun," and then never let me play it.
Yeah, I want to play that game, but it's disguised of me buying it for you.
He did that with there was a new MotoGP game and a ride game for motorbikes, and he goes, "Oh, I think you'll like this." I bought both of them, and I was like, "I don't want these games." He goes, "Oh, it's okay. I bought your PS4. I'll just play them." And then they're still at his house, and I've never opened them.
God,
I was like, "That's cool. If you want to buy the game, you're an adult. Just spend the $30 on this pre-owned copy of Ride and just play it."
Yeah. Tony Hawk Ride, that was cool.
That was cool. The Wii board.
The Wii board, that didn't work and everyone hated.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really cool.
It's a cool idea, but I don't know.
Peripheral games, always inevitably suck. Like Guitar Hero is the only one that was, decent.
Yeah. I suppose you could call majority of the games on the Wii a peripheral game because it had to use the Wiimote.
That's not a peripheral though. That's just the controller.
No, but the movement controls, I would say, were the big gimmick of it.
But what I'm saying is that's the game. It needs that. Peripheral is for specifically that game. I need to buy this thing, or like Donkey Konga, where I got to buy the drums just for a single game. Or
Okay, yeah.
things like that.
I had my third party like shotgun for Black Ops 1 on the Wii.
Yeah,
That was cool. That thing got abused, but it was really cool.
I'm actually tempted to get a MetaQuest controller holder as like a gun stock thing, because some of those games I've seen people use them as like they look fucking hectic.
Yeah. I still have 2 of the Wiimote pistol holder things.
Yeah, I've got some up here.
Yeah, because I don't remember where I got them from, but I had the official Nerf one that you could take the center bit out of and put the Wiimote into for the Nerf game. And we must have gotten 2 other ones for like so that second and third player could also use it.
There was a few Nerf games out there.
The Wii I remember had 2 at least, and there's a few others for other consoles that I saw.
When was the last time you bought a Nerf gun?
For me? Oh, a while back.
12 years ago?
Okay, I thought you would have got it more recently. I thought you were a bit of a Nerf.
Oh,
Nerf.
I've got a
Nerf nut.
massive box of Nerf guns down in the back shed, but
I've got
I
one
haven't-
here somewhere. I remember where I put it.
yeah, you've got the Mega Dart thing somewhere.
No,
I've seen it.
that's up the top. That's not
Oh, yeah.
mine. I've got the one with a laser.
Yeah, he's got the little pistol one.
Yeah. Well, actually,
the Recon or whatever it
I
was
don't
with
know.
all the attachment bits.
actually, I think it's in the other office.
That's kind of crazy to think about. They're literally just marketing guns to kids
Yeah.
to play with.
Yeah, well, we had the little the single shot ones in high school, and people would like push pins through the underside and then shoot them at people because they'd get stuck in your arm and you couldn't do anything about it.
Tell you what I haven't seen in a while is Super Soaker.
Kids don't go outside.
True. Super Soaker is definitely a product of the time because that's when people used to have pools a lot more.
Yeah.
Have a check. I have a feeling that brand was bought out by Nerf.
It could be, but that doesn't matter. It's more just actually
Like just
seeing
water
them.
pistols in general, just they're nowhere near as big as they used to be.
because I remember always like the big Super Soakers would it'll have like the shotgun thing. You pump it a few times, it'll pump out like a shotgun blast, or you can just do like the pistol, like the automatic.
I had a Nerf branded Super Soaker, and it was a crossbow, but it had like the arms that popped out were 2 extra jets
So I just shot out in three directions.
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
That's the type of stuff all my cousins had, like, because there were like 3 boys.
Yeah.
Like they'd just get, what do you want for Christmas? And they'd just get all these massive Nerf machine guns.
Exact
and
same. My cousins are 2 boys, and they always had all that shit.
And I'd go over there and they had this big property up in Queensland, and you'd be like running around and like they had trees and stuff. It's like when my other 2 cousins came over, there was 6 of us, and we all just get the guns, and it was just chaos.
Yeah. There's not stuff like that anymore.
I reckon there probably is. We're just not in the demographic.
No, because
that it gets
I got
marketed
adult
to
money
anymore.
now. I'm buying it. If I see something cool, I'm buying it.
I more mean like just straight up space for shit like that.
Yeah.
I remember one Christmas we went up there, and the year before I saw they had a green machine, and I really wanted one.
Fucking green machines.
So
Yeah.
the next year we went up for Christmas, they bought me one, but then Dad's like, we can't take it home. So I rode around their cul-de-sac for like half an hour, and then they took it back because I couldn't. Dad's like, we're not taking it back in the car from Queensland.
why did he buy it for you then?
No, my uncle and auntie did because they saw how much fun I had on their kids, my cousins.
Oh, that
sucks.
sucks.
I
Yeah,
had it
that's-
for like an afternoon. I was gutted.
No, that's child
That was
abuse.
the only thing I wanted was a green machine because that thing was hectic.
So there's a topic. What was the toy that you never got as a child that you always wanted?
Green machine.
Green machine. What was yours?
I don't know. I've got to think about it.
My mother worked at a preschool, and they had you remember the little pedalo cars? Like, it was like a little toy car that the kid could sit in, and it had pedals.
Oh, yeah,
underneath.
yeah.
You kick the pedals, and it makes the car move.
Yep.
The preschool my mum worked for had a Batmobile version of that,
That's cool.
and brought it home one school holidays, and same thing, rode it around the backyard and everything. It was amazing. And then it went back to the preschool, and I never saw it again. I was like, I want one of those. Mum, can I have one of those for Christmas for the next 3 years straight. That's all I wanted.
I think the only thing I can think of, and I eventually got it, but that was such a long time, was a DS. I wanted a Nintendo DS for probably about 2 or 3 years. So remember when they first came out in like 2004? And it's a big, thick, old one.
The grey one.
Yeah, and I think there was like blue ones as well and things
Yeah.
like that. But I really, really wanted one, and I remember there was an ad, or it was a competition with a Cadbury block of chocolate to win a DS, and I submitted for it, and I was waiting for a year. It's like, when do I get the DS? Because I thought you just got one.
Oh,
And it never happened, but like, yeah, it was probably about 2007. I ended up getting a DSi.
I think
A
alight.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I don't remember how I got it. I think it would have been one Christmas I got one. And like, because I was still using my SP for ages. And then Dad's like, oh, here you go. And I was like, this was like a big stretch between when I had the DS and when I actually got the SP. Then like my sister's birthday rolled around like 3 months later, and they're like, oh, here you go. It was like, no hassle, no trouble. It's just like, she gets one because I've got one. I was like, why didn't I just get one earlier then?
You're never going to win with that stuff.
those redemption things used to go through the schools all the time with the like, oh, sell this many tickets and you go in the chance to win this, blah, blah, blah. They came through my school so often.
All of ours are just like all the charity chocolate things.
Yeah, or like Scholastic Book Club was a little bit different, but I know they had what was it, Fun Run for Life or whatever? Did all of them as well?
I vaguely remember that name, but I don't remember doing that. I remember
I
just
don't remember doing it.
cross countries.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I remember I entered a competition one. It was a colouring in competition. I may have been too old to enter, but I entered it anyway. And I won. And it was like this giant big basket of chocolate, and I got it put in the paper and stuff.
I was just going to say, have you guys ever won a competition?
Yes.
What?
I won. I'm trying to think how old I would have been. I would have been like 7. Won a clock radio at a school fair. It was literally just, oh, we've got this big barrel of sand. Put your marker in, and whoever gets closest.
He meant a real
I mean like a real one,
Okay,
because I could say that as well. I won, I'm guessing how many Easter eggs are in a thing.
Oh, we won tons of those, yeah. No, I can't. Okay, if it's a, official competition by an actual big company, no, I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Oh, I think I've won a K-Zone competition a couple times.
Oh, yeah, K-Zone.
Yeah.
That's not around anymore, surely.
Yeah.
No, it is.
Because I remember...
You're still up to date? You still got your subscription?
Again, no. Used to work in childcare. I know it's still around.
Used to. That was like 5 years ago, bro.
Yeah. It's still there. They weren't dying off.
I remember-
Disney Adventures was dying off.
Yeah. I think we had a subscription where I got them every single month, and then it just went on way too long. I was like 16 and still getting these K-Zone mags. But like, you just write in an answer and you just send off the bit of paper and they'd give you stuff and you get prizes in your next subscription. But I should find my Jackie Chan books. You know how they used to do they did like monthly ones of those?
Oh, it wasn't like a comic or something?
Yeah, but it was like a big comic thing that had puzzle games and stuff, and you got like the different talismans every month.
Yeah.
I used to collect...
I've got the tin, I think, actually.
as a kid, I used to collect the Simpsons comics. Do you remember those?
I had a couple.
Yeah, they all...
I had two Batman comics.
Yeah, I just completely forgot about that. And I remember having some that would have been easily from like the mid-90s, and they just still reprinted them. I was like, I completely forgot that they did Simpsons comics. They did a lot of them.
Yeah, I used to have a couple of different subscriptions like that. I had K-Zone. First started with Disney Adventures and then branched off into K-Zone. What was it?
I had that one.
I had this.
Yeah. Bongo.
Look up magazine bugs, because that's what I had when I was little, and it came with like the big, like each month you got a little bit of the big bug to build out of glow in the dark like plastic. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I can tell why you're so cool.
What was I going to say?
There was a dinosaur version of it as well, and you got the skeleton, the wooden.
This is the
skeleton
type of
every
shit
month.
they used to put in like the Saturday or Sunday paper.
Yeah.
And you'd have to go every week and they would give it to you. And yeah, I remember doing that a couple times.
I remember going to like the newsagent's with mum. She was like paying a bill or something, and I'd walk in there and be like, oh, the new Jackie Chan's out. We have to buy it. And then I just harass her the entire way home.
I had that.
Did they do a crossover? The Simpsons did a crossover with someone?
They did a few. I think it was like a Futurama one.
I had the Futurama one.
Man, this is really giving me like some nostalgia. I remember seeing that.
I'm pretty sure our school had them in
Yeah.
to like borrow as library books. and they didn't care because like at least we were reading, so like we'll put comics in the library.
Man, this is giving me flashbacks like crazy. Yeah, the back seeing that. Oh, don't. That bongo thing there reminds me. Have you guys seen, was it fucking Road to Hell or whatever? Matt Groening's original comic.
No.
I used to have some of those as well.
Really?
Life in Hell. You would probably know some of the characters. Life in Hell. Yeah, have you seen that before?
Oh,
I've seen the bunnies.
Yeah, those bunnies,
Yeah.
and then there's the two guys with the
I remember those two little, whatever they are, the two little guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some of these as well. Some of the comics were pretty funny, but a lot of them were like, it was definitely more adult oriented. I just had them because I was like, ha 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 ha, funny. But I feel like a lot of this stuff I had because I spent a lot of time in bookshops as a kid. Like that was one of the places I would just go stand at. Like mum would be doing some shopping. I'm like, I'm just going to go in the bookshop and look around. And
Yeah,
it'd be
I was
like
the
the
same.
comics.
Our
and
school
stuff like that.
library was pretty massive, so like we had a lot of stuff. Like we had all the Del Toro stuff. We had all of them in the collection, all of them stacked up. Then we had a bunch of different comics and stuff to rent.
I'm still amazed that Del Toro Quest never got a game or anything like that. Like it
It's Australian, that's why.
Yeah, but did they not do a like really short-lived TV series or a
I think they did.
animated
Australian
series for it?
version.
Yeah, exactly. It's Australia. That's the problem. There's no market.
Doesn't leave the shores.
I mean, you say that. Round the Twist did pretty well,
It was,
being exported out to.
In
it
the
was also
UK.
BBC that did it, not not ABC.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like that's that. But I do want to confess something. When I was in like year 2 or 3, at our school library, we had the episode 3, Star Wars episode 3 trading cards in a binder with these books. I definitely stole all of them and took them home.
Did you ever collect when the Revenge of the Sith came out? They had the things
No.
in the paper, the little badges.
No.
I've got to find them. I'm only missing like 2, but those things.
I remember
so
when
cool.
Revenge of the Sith came out, and Don't at the same time. Like I remember like seeing some stuff about it, and then I also remember what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I was never big into Star Wars as a kid. I'd seen the original trilogy and
when they were released.
no, thought yep, they were cool. Yep, and then like all the hype for the
Prequels.
prequels came out, and I was just like, okay,
All right.
cool.
So
Like, that was I didn't really care that much.
do we think that since Disney has bought Star Wars, not because of Disney themselves, but the fact that because there's more Star Wars content now, it is just worse?
I would say they're still better than like how Marvel's going, but the shit shows they do, or like all the content they put out, is really bad. But then also their good content is like fucking fantastic.
Well, the thing I've been feeling with Star Wars is that there is almost too much coming out, and it feels like a lot of the mysticism behind Star Wars
Is
gone.
Yeah, it's oversaturated. That's what I felt about Marvel as well.
Yeah. I mean, like Marvel always had a ton of material to come from, but I agree with you in a different sense with that.
As soon as Disney bought it out, it was everywhere after that point.
Yeah.
Like there was no escaping it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Every big series seems to do that where, yep, we got really big, we get bought out, and then it just gets oversaturated to hell and no one wants it anymore.
I think Star Wars wins a little bit with that because there is still a central story that they're somewhat following. Whereas if you go to look at Marvel, there's nothing planned, and there hasn't been anything planned for ages. Like Andor,
Copying the comics, aren't they?
they were originally.
Yeah,
They
not
haven't done
really
that in a
now.
while. They're just trying to do big
They do
budget
whatever
movies.
they want. But that's the problem, is that there is still so much source material to pick from. They've got decades, half a century worth of stuff, or more than
Yeah.
that, and there's just
And if they followed
what's-
them and put them out, people would praise it because
No,
like
they-
everyone has read the
They got rid of
comics.
all that when Disney bought it. They cancelled all those standalone books and comics and all that from like the old legend stuff. All that's they made it not canon. So all of that stuff's
so
cooked
you're
up.
talking about Star Wars now.
Yeah.
We're talking about Marvel.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah, but I know that they
I mean,
got rid of Star
it's
Wars.
applicable to
Yeah.
Star Wars as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, like George Lucas got his payday and left, and good on him.
yeah.
I mean, he was doing some fucking dumb things with Star
The
Wars.
Japanese Trade Federation.
Yeah. Oh god. But no, it's. I don't know. It's the type of thing I just feel like when those big companies touch stuff like that, they just ruin it so fast.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything be absorbed by anything and it go good in ages.
Ahsoka wasn't too bad. The Star Wars Vision, like the anthology series, was quite cool. And they're doing those little spin-offs on different characters, which I didn't watch.
Aren't they
Dooku
doing
one.
a Mando movie?
Yeah. So they've pretty much done all the seasons. There's going to be a Mandalorian and then like the Mandalore War movies type thing. And then I think Ahsoka's got another season. And I think I don't know what else is coming. And Andor's finished this week, I think.
I just hate the fact that you've got to watch 3 seasons of a show to watch the new Star Wars movie. To me, that just seems counterintuitive, marketing wise.
Yeah.
They weren't with Ahsoka, it wasn't too bad because they brought all the Rebels people back, but it picked up right at the end of the show. So you didn't have to know anything. You just had to know all the people knew each other. But even then, I was like, I don't know half of these people in the show because I couldn't watch Rebels. Did my head in.
Yeah, no, I couldn't get through Clone Wars. We went Rebels.
Yeah.
That's one of those shows where I feel like it's better to watch like a highlights clip than actually watch the show.
There's definitely arcs that are worth watching, and there's some that are just worth skipping over entirely. You could probably watch half the show and it'd be a lot more enjoyable than watching the whole thing.
I didn't even try because I had no interest in any of it.
Well, that's just buzzkill, isn't it, bro?
Yeah,
Well, no, it was
exactly.
just, it's more that it's not the thing
Fuck
that
you
appealed
and the
to
thing
me.
you
So,
like.
I'm happy that other people enjoyed it, and I'm happy that there's stuff out there for, vast, wide, diverse array of people, but it just was not for me. So I was just like, okay, cool, go enjoy
I
it.
watched the D&D movie even though I don't like D&D.
Good.
Still not playing D&D though.
You make me sad.
I have tried. Well, I have played D&D a few times, and I just can't get into it.
That's fine. It's not for everyone.
It's terrible and it sucks.
Womp womp.
No, it's fine. D&D's fine. I understand why it was so popular and still is. It's just it's too much of a time sink for me.
It's a time sink, true. It's very reliant on the skill set of one particular person at that table who is telling the story.
He's that person, so he's just blowing smoke up his own ass.
Yeah.
I've had bad DMs. I've had good DMs.
And what are you?
I don't know. The people who play my games tend to enjoy it, I feel. So if that's up to them to say whether or not I am good at it.
We should put a poll up on TikTok. Just
Fucking
by
good DM.
pure looks.
Does this guy look
DM?
like a good DM? I reckon people would say yes. Just by looks. He's wearing a Sonic shirt.
Sure, yeah. By looks, I fit the look. That does not mean I've got the skill.
We'll use a photo where you're wearing your D&D shirt and hoodie.
It's the same pattern.
Oh, I know it's the same
There's
pattern.
no difference between the two.
Do you have pants and socks that are the same as well?
I have socks. They were a Christmas present.
Oh my god.
When he plays
bro.
D&D, he's not wearing any pants.
No, he's not. He's got his big cock out on the table.
I'm not responding that one way or the other.
You just did.
Do we have any epic other game things to talk about? We had heaps, didn't we?
There were a
did.
few things we looked at.
Yeah, do you want to talk about them?
I mean, we touched on the playtests of Arc Raiders and Dune Awakening.
That's what I want to talk about. Fucking Fortnite's coming back to iOS
Will be quite epic.
after
6 years? 7 years?
It
not
feels like it's
that
been
long. Nah, I don't think it's
No.
that long.
It's been
I
that
think it
long.
was like 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
2019?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
Apple
that would
got
be
sued.
that would be 6 years then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so finally Fortnite's coming back to iOS. They had, as of recording, Epic had just submitted it to Apple as like basically going gold for the App Store. So I think from now it can just go up whenever, but they're probably going to do something to try and
Tweak it.
get it going. I don't know if this is also coming to Mac. If it comes to Mac, that'll be hectic. But I know this doesn't seem like too big of a story. It's fucking massive.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an iPhone.
It's
Yeah.
bringing back like what?
It's
3, 4, 5 million players to that game.
for example, I mean, we know, for example, the amount of kids that will come in
Yeah.
to our work and want to buy a computer or a PlayStation or something just to play Fortnite. And now it's going to be, well, you can play it on your phone. Maybe mum and dad will get you a phone instead type of thing. Or you've got another device for it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just such an open, like, just get an iPad.
Which is why I never understood why Apple, like, I know, you know, there was the whole, we want 30% of the revenue and blah, blah, blah. I understand why they did that. Didn't agree with it, but I understood it. But it also meant that, hey, a huge market there is being lost to you where people would buy those devices literally just to play that game.
I think it was Apple's decision. I think it was Epic didn't want it on there because of that. They didn't want to give up that percentage of profit.
No, but then Apple was the one that made the decision to remove it from the store.
No, I think they did.
No, because Epic was doing a thing where rather than have to go through the Apple store, it was an in-app purchase where it just opened the browser through the Epic website.
The thing is, plenty of apps still do that.
Yeah, and I know Apple's trying to stop them.
Yeah. I think this is to do with like some of those EU laws that came out. It's actually been in the EU Fortnite on iOS for a little bit now, for like a few months. But I'm super keen because I think I'll start playing Fortnite again because I'll play it on this. I've got an iPad Pro M4 chip. This is going to be faster than a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be very interested to see how it goes. I might be able to run it at like 120 frames because it's got a 120 hertz display on its ultra settings.
That would be quite cool.
Like, I'd be very, very interested. As long as I can play with a controller or keyboard and mouse, I will be playing all the fucking time. Having that right there.
You compared like DualSense and Xbox controllers to them now, can't you?
It depends on the game if they allow it. Like that Delta Force game I was playing doesn't have controller support yet, which sucked because I was using the touch screen and I was like, it was still fun, but it wasn't the same.
Are there any games that you feel like the touch screen controls were better than a dedicated controller?
Never. Oh, actually, only one game.
Pocket Edition Minecraft wasn't terrible.
It's not as good as... The only game I'm going to say that I think is better on this is Balatro.
Yeah.
And it's because it's such simple movements. Just
games that have been
meant for this.
Games that have been built specifically for a touch device, if they, need all of that. Like, and it's mainly card games, honestly.
It wasn't, though. Balatro was PC and then got ported. But it's because it's essentially a port of an IRL game.
Yeah.
But no, card games are pretty much one of the only games I can think where a touch screen control scheme
maybe a
works
point and
better.
click, something that is just something is solely mouse driven.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like an older point and click where it was like a pixel hunt, where it's like you got to click in exactly the right spot because
choose your S Pen.
Or generally when it's something like that on a screen like this, it will have like a magnifying glass effect or something like that. There'll be stuff for it. I feel like there was one game that got ported to iPod Touch back in the day that people were like, this is really good for what it is.
Bad Company was pretty good. I had Bad Company 2 on my iPod Touch.
I will say, I feel like
hectic.
back in the day, they used to port some really good games to iOS. Mostly iOS. So back in the day, they didn't play much on Android.
No, the phones couldn't handle it.
They couldn't. But like, remember the two versions of COD Zombies they had on mobile? COD Zombies Mobile?
This is like original iPod Touch as well. They were hectic.
Forever ago. There was heaps of like FPSs. They always used to like port big games to it. Resident Evil 4
got ported,
was ported onto it. There's heaps of stuff.
I remember we'd get on the school bus before school and play like get on Black Ops Zombies, or just get on like the World at War Zombies, and we sat there all in different seats playing it. It's great fun.
Yeah, no, I wish there was some stuff like that again. I think mobile gaming on phones and tablets, they need to give it a bit more of a push.
Yeah,
it's in everyone's pocket.
At one point, it was the future, and now it's just kind of fallen by the wayside.
Which I don't get because this device here, go back, this is more powerful than probably a PS4.
Yeah.
Like, it's not optimized for
I think
shit.
You're getting to the point, though, where it's like, what would you rather relax and play games on? On something like that, or with a controller on a TV?
I will be completely honest. If I can just put this next to me in my bed or wherever I want with a controller, I'm on this.
Okay.
There was a point where when I had my S8 Plus Samsung tablet and I was just doing Xbox Cloud stuff, internet wasn't amazing, but I could play Banjo-Kazooie on it because it didn't need much download for that because the game is like probably 200 megabytes or whatever. It was super fun. I was playing it all the time, going around, just putting the tablet down, playing. hectic.
Here it is from another angle then. What would you prefer to spend on? Would you prefer to spend however many thousand that costs? Or would you like $700 for a console?
No, but I'm not buying this for gaming. I never did. It's something that
which
it
is
can
kind of
do.
my point. If it's like solely from the viewpoint of I want to play games, why would you buy something that expensive when you can get...
That's not what I'm saying, though. It isn't, I'm going to buy this or this.
It's not what you're saying. It's what I'm saying, though.
If you were gonna play games and you had the choice between a brand new console and a TV or one of these, what would you pick?
Yeah, or why would you not go a console and a TV?
That was my point.
Yeah, but you're making a different point to me. I'm saying if you've already got this thing, or if you've already got an iPhone or an iPad
if you've already
or whatever,
got them, yes,
yeah,
fair
you
enough.
got it's super cool to have that, and everyone's got a lot of these devices already. More people have an iPhone than they do a PlayStation 5.
Yes, and the iPhone
and
is
it's always in
infinitely more portable.
Yeah, and it's always in your pocket. And the thing is now, you can plug that into a TV.
Yeah.
As long as we're going to have to get a couple other things to get it better. Like you're going to have a good connection to a TV and a TV that's going to be able to support it. But when you can play Fortnite on your phone, you're like, fuck it, I feel like playing on TV. Just plug it in with the C to HDMI.
And Bluetooth controller.
And a Bluetooth controller. It's like, that's unbeaten. That's hectic. It's in your pocket. You might need to get like a little thing to charge it at the same time. But same idea with this. It's like the power in these things now is incredible. It's mostly on the Apple devices. The iPads shit all over the Samsung tablets. As a former Samsung fanboy, they just do.
Yeah,
all of the power-wise, all the Apple devices.
Right.
Yeah, power-wise, all the Apple devices shit on the Samsung ones.
Samsungs are good for watching videos, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like this would be better because it's an OLED screen.
Oh yeah, but like cost efficient for if you're using it to watch movies on a plane and you've got $250, buy a Samsung tablet.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, get an A9 Plus.
You wouldn't use it at work or anything like that. I mean, you could make the argument for the ultra range for the tablets.
The problem is though,
that's
with like
pretty much a laptop. At
a lot of
point.
the Samsung stuff is so you can get like the baseline Samsung tablet is a Samsung A9 Plus. In Australia, they're about $300 to $379 usually.
Ballpark.
The baseline iPad is around $500 to $600, and that iPad destroys the A9 Plus. It's on par, if not better than their next step up tablet, which is the
FE.
S10 FE or whatever, and which is about $750 or so. And that's the problem. Apple stuff is just so good, but they just limit it so much.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I've got emulators on this. Remember you gave me all those ROMs for the emulator on here?
Sure do.
I can only play like PS1 and a couple of the consoles because it just doesn't have certain things that Apple's locked out. You can't play PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, XYZ things on this.
Yeah, it's all the way that the M chip just...
Yeah, the architecture or something. But it's something that they could fix, I think, from what I've seen, but they just don't want to because it's Apple and they don't let people touch it. But you go on an Android tablet, it's half the speed and you can play all those things.
Yeah.
And it's like for those type of things, Android's way better because you can just customize it infinitely. But I feel like there's an argument that a lot of people who have an Android try and make against people with Apple's like, I can do this thing, I can edit all these things, I can change all this, that. 90% of consumers don't fucking care about that.
Yeah.
They just want their phone to work. And people always say, yeah, well, on my Samsung, I can go into the root files and I can download this and I can change all this. And people don't care.
You are less than like 5% of the user base. I am one of those people that likes being able to customize it all, that likes having full control over my device.
Which is the trouble I've had the last 8 hours trying to get my wallpaper back after I updated my phone.
Yeah.
It's completely cooked.
I have a couple of Apple devices. They're very old. I will probably never go back to an Apple device, but even I'll admit that in terms of sheer power, leaves my device in the dust.
Yep, 100%. And I used to be the same. I had a Fold 3. Samsung, loved it. Yeah. Did so much from that thing.
For those who are going to comment, I'm not meaning his Mac... the camera. I'm looking off into space somewhere at some hypothetical person who's like, actually, no. I'm not talking his MacBook Pro leaves
iPad.
iPad Pro. I do have a MacBook Pro as well, though.
Well, both of them. I'm not talking the Pro leaves my S22 in the dust. I'm
It
talking
does.
it does. But the equivalent Apple product to an S22 leaves the S22 in the dust.
Yeah,
iPhone 13.
Yeah, would have been the 13. Yeah, shit's all over it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And I hate admitting that, but it's true.
it's true. When they are able to get like an M chip in an iPhone, it is game over for Samsung.
Yeah.
It really is.
But
Like,
what that's the issue. Like, they can put all that power in it, but what else are they going to do? Are they still going to have it all limited with, like, say, emulating and that sort of thing? What more could
Well,
they
it's
do
not just-
power-wise?
that's what we think about because we want
Yeah,
it
it's
for a
not just
gaming device.
emulating. It's
Well,
like,
then just like-
in general tasks, you can't take full advantage of the M chips yet because the architecture just isn't usable outside of Apple's ecosystem.
But what else could you do in a phone with an M chip that you can't do in an iPad? Or, like, are they going to add a bunch of new features because it's got an M chip in it?
Well, they probably would because they've done a lot of that when these new features have come out. They're like, oh, we're going to put these things. But I think they would market it as a mobile computer.
Yeah.
Buy it with this little dock or this little adapter, plug it into a TV, you now have a computer.
Dex.
It'd be like Dex, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, these Apple devices are insane. I just wish that for gaming, they're just so underutilized. And that's why I feel like having Fortnite on these newer Apple devices, especially because it was pre-M series chips that Apple had. Now, onto this M4, if I would not be surprised, honestly, once Fortnite is allowed onto iOS again, I will compare it on my iPad Pro to my PS5. And I will not be surprised if it runs better on this.
Oh, I mean, look, remember about a year ago, we were looking at all the announcements for games and that were like, oh, we're bringing an iOS version. I was like, Resident Evil 8 and everything coming out on
Resident Evil 7's on there, 8, Resident Evil 4 Remake. I will admit, apparently some of them run pretty bad.
Oh, really?
From what I've heard, I haven't looked into that in a while though.
I wonder if that's an optimization issue. or if
Assassin's
it's an actual
Creed
performance issue.
Mirage,
Yeah.
I think's on here. Let me actually have a look. Because I actually would be tempted to get that. Actually, I wonder if Shadows is on here.
Oh,
I
doubt Shadows.
I know
is.
that Shadows on Mac runs really bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't run great on PS5. Or so.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage is on the iOS store. I mean, it's only got 34 ratings.
11 gig.
Yeah, so it's very cut down.
I was going to say, I wonder what they took out of it.
It'll be texture file size.
I just couldn't imagine playing this with a touchscreen.
Because that you could tell me that is from Assassin's Creed Revelations. And I'd be like, I believe that. Because that is the same.
It looks like
look.
it could be on the 360.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm happy to lose quality by having this portability. It is this big. Look at that. And the battery life is really good. I could probably play 3 or 4 hours on that. That's better than a ROG Ally.
Yeah. It's better than a Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Switch is 3 to 4 as well, but you're playing stuff that's very heavily stunted compared to that.
Exactly.
Elder Scroll Blades.
Yeah, I never played that. I've played COD Mobile. I've played, I think I tried to download it once on here to show you guys, COD Warzone on mobile. That
We
looks
tried to open it,
really impressive for what it is on here. Like, really, really impressive. But, yeah, there's also Evil Land's epic MMORPG online. But, no, I think it's very underutilized. And there's some Attack on Titan.
We should do an episode at some point on like a whole bunch of mobile games that get
we
highly
could.
rated, but
100%.
just dead.
Yeah, but I really would just like this to happen because I reckon if they start optimizing stuff for these M chip devices, I think Apple could honestly floor a lot of the gaming market. They've got the power now. They just need to let it be optimized. And
It'll still take 3 or 4 years for them to do anything with it, but because I mean they want to make sure it's perfect. So like, yeah, it works now, awesome. It's going to be 2030 before we get a dedicated Apple gaming hardware.
it doesn't need to be dedicated. They've got the power in there. They can have just somewhat okay. If the Switch can go good for being underpowered and just people like it because it's Nintendo, but also portable and
I mean, it has the exclusives there to drive it.
yeah,
but I know what you
understand.
mean.
Yeah, but exactly. People aren't super dependent on everything being super duper shiny and looking the best in the world.
Yes.
Like
which they shouldn't. Nintendo will bring out better games.
Yeah. I will say though, a lot of Nintendo's games still look great because of their art style.
Yeah.
They don't need a look.
No, they don't need
good.
Unreal Engine 5 photorealistic everything. They know the gameplay is there and people are going for it because they like that art style as well.
Back in the day, people fucking hated Legend of Zelda Wind Waker because of the art style.
The cell shading.
They absolutely hated it.
There was a few other games as well, but
in
because
retrospective,
of it,
people fucking love that game now because it looks great still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still ways to make it look better, like the HD remaster and things like that. But it still looks great. And you compare it to other games around that time, and you're like, I don't know, like Twilight Princess a bit later on. That game looks super muddy now.
It does.
It's still super playable and still looks good.
Yeah, the
but
gameplay's still there. The graphics are just
comparable. No, like Toon Link has aged way better.
Yep.
Yeah, you always get that with stylized choices though. They always look better forever.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
designed
how
that
many
way.
people still hype up Jet Set Radio and that because of the cell shading?
You know what? I think it just all depends on this. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be like super artistic art style, because one game that I still go back and play, I'm like, this still looks pretty decent, is like Metal Gear Solid 2. It's because just the way, I mean, like it obviously looks dated in ways, but I'm like, this all still looks pretty good, like good physics and good like rain simulation.
I was going to say that proves that all you need is a dedicated player base and love. Yeah, sure. Actually, no, you're right. You like active development as well. But you do not need good graphics. Dwarf Fortress.
Yeah, no, that's just because it's so unlimited. Yeah.
Yeah, there are so many people playing that. It's really hard to get into. But it's literally like, if you go back and like, I know they've just made a new skin for it, essentially, that gives it more stylized, more modern.
When
overview
Dwarf
and UI
Fortress
and everything.
becomes an actual game that I don't have to feel like I'm playing Zork,
Yeah,
I will play it.
Yeah.
Well,
Zork was cool.
Zork was cool.
I like Zork.
You played Zork in the computer in Black Ops, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I downloaded the actual version of it. It was a lot funner in the Black Ops one because it was very limited, but it was cool.
I made a joke the other night about being eaten by Gru, and Laura just looked at me like I'd just spouted gibberish, and I was like, I don't know who you are anymore. You don't know games.
And that's getting real with
Despicable
Brock.
Me got eaten by Gru.
I've got my mask
a
somewhere.
Gru.
Oh, God.
God, yeah. Well, we're nearly at an hour. I think we're being a bit delusional this episode. Do you want to call it there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we shall save it there.
All right. See you guys.